But yeah, so let's get started, man. That rap from Mark Cuban was weak as fuck. I gotta be honest, bro. That was weak. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. That was weak. Now the audience, you know, for them to be cheering, I'm sure that somebody had like a poster saying cheer, clap. That was weak, bro. So Mark Cuban, need to get in the studio, bro. I know you try to come at Lil Wayne, so you need to go back and ask him to ghostwrite for you. If honestly, and this is real stuff, I think if Mark Cuban would have asked Lil Wayne to ghostwrite for him, like, and just say, you know, bar for bar, the video or that rap would have been 10 times better. They've been like, yo, and it had way more attention. But all jokes to the side, the rap was whack. I got to be honest with that, and that will go down in history as the worst billionaire rap of all time. And this is just, it's not him, it's just the sport of rap, so don't think I'm just kind of at his neck. But overall though, yeah, if he was serious, I do think that, you know, respectfully, I think that Mark Cuban definitely needs some help. You know, I think as a little guy, right? And there's many little guys out there. When we look at these billionaires or these, you know, these tech gurus, Mark Zuckerberg, I'm a fan of Mark Zuckerberg, but of course he's, you know, done stuff that I'd just be like, I don't think Mark should have did that, but I'm not his, you know, publicist, you know what I mean? But with Mark Cuban, I'm like, you know, you would want, and you know, you do what you want with your own life, right? But you would want a billionaire to have a little bit more, hold on. You would want a billionaire to have a little bit more class about himself, but if you just want to be, you know, I guess you could say in the mix, it is what it is. Now, this presidential election, man, it's freaking, it's bunkers, bro. Trump got, you know, 2 attempt assassinations on him. Alex Jones is always covering this information, which is very interesting. But 2 assassination attempts. When you look at this political race between Trump and Harris, and in my opinion, it's like you look at Elon Musk, you look at Robert F. Kennedy, Donald Trump, Vance. I like him. He's very good at vice president. He's very smart too. Very smart. One person put it as like, you know, we're looking at the Avengers right now. If you care about, I guess you can say, the future, right? You're practically looking at the Avengers right now, bro. Imagine all those guys, and again, I've read this off of a quote. Imagine all those guys going to some press conference to handle a deal in a foreign country, and it's gonna benefit us, you know, the American people. Yeah, when Trump got into office, in my opinion, it opened the door for little guys to keep up with politics, I guess you can say. It's freaking crazy, bro. You got Aiden interviewing Trump, like you would never thought that in a million years, bro. But, you know, it's interesting. It's becoming, in my opinion, Obama kind of started it off being the cool guy and stuff like that. And people kind of took note of politics, you know what I mean? At least for, you know, born in 90s baby. So I never really heard people in the 90s talking about politics, whatever. But now growing up, I hear a lot of people. So it's super entertaining. It's very interesting. But entertaining enough to where we are pretty much knocking on the door of World War III. So that's how entertaining this is and how serious this is. And when you have a billionaire like Mark Cuban on a late night show rapping about, you know, the potential entrance of World War III, where it can pretty much, you know, demolish a lot of people. People have to run to mountains and stuff like that, and billionaires building bunkers. You start to think to yourself, how serious are they really taking this? And if you are a billionaire, are you handling your position responsibly? Maybe you are, I don't know. The other person pointed out was that when you think about the race, in my opinion too, when you look at the Democrats literally flooding the entire country with a bunch of immigrants, and we've talked about this, plenty of times, literally forcing immigrants to, or pushing the agenda for foreigners to get citizenship here in America, which is wild. And it goes to show you how much, how urgent this is to keep this going. Now, as you guys know, this is a stock channel, and one of the, and I'll kind of give this out for free, and I'll show it on the charts. Who was it? Joe? Oh yeah, Joe Rogan. He's a part of the Avengers as well too. So there's no beef with Joe. But Joe did make a comment about Bud Light, and I did want to hit on that. He made a comment about Bud Light, and he laughed, and I was like, yo, I don't think you know what you're talking about. So he laughed that Bud Light lost $3 billion in a matter of like a span of a day or something like that when they came out with that transgender commercial. But what Joe didn't realize is that Bud Light is worth $103 billion, if I'm not mistaken. So you ask yourself, well, what is $3 billion to $103 billion? You know what I mean? The stock price fell, of course, but like I said, we give this information out for free. The stock price did fall, but it fell enough to be able to buy the dip, and of course they have dividends, so it kind of doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So again, what's $3 billion to $113 billion? You know what I mean? And I was like, but you gotta learn somewhere. So, but going back to it, speaking on the charts, you see the desperation coming from Democrats, and again, in over 3 years, Kamala just crossed the border. I don't know what you guys make of that. I make of that as like you don't care, and you have an agenda, and you're not told to go down there. So meaning that you don't run the show. But with that being said, millions and millions of people are flooding America in 2024, or from 2020 all the way to 2024. Millions of illegals coming in. And I look at it as just like America's just becoming a public restroom. Like that's literally how I see it. But going back to it though, what's at our front door is World War III, right? War wars is already happening with Israel. Ukraine is like, if you can think about this, 2024, Ukraine is still at war with Russia. There is no deal that's on the table. They're not even talking about a deal, and lives are still being lost. Think about that. You may have family members that are in the military, and lives are being lost right now as we speak. Whether you're Palestinian, Israel, whichever one you are, there are lives being lost right now, which is, like innocent lives. That's the thing. It's innocent lives. It's not the guys who are running the show. It's just innocent lives that are being lost. So think about that as a little guy. But the chart Lockheed Martin is a perfect representation of where the future of the market is going to be going. So that's something that you want to keep track of, right? Lockheed Martin right now is at 582. If you look at it from 2021, Lockheed Martin was at 319. So think about that. From 319 all the way to 584. And if I were to give it a price target on it, I see Lockheed Martin going to 800. So meaning that I see more escalation in the market, and I'm going to call it now. If Trump does not win, it's because of this setup, right? You have illegal immigrants pushing to vote. You potentially don't want to put it out there, but then you potentially have, assassination. You know what I mean? I don't want to put that out there, but it's what's been happening, and that is the reality. And I think journaling the situation, you have to kind of touch on it a little bit. So I guess with that, just the solution is that hopefully people can just calm down and relax and understand that if Trump becomes president, it's not the end of the world. Some people may argue that it could be a greater world, just for the sake of the argument. But if I threw out the price target and based off the setup and what we see, and you can't be incompetent about this information. You have to be aware. If you're not aware, based off of all the information that we just talked about on this video, you want to make yourself aware of this kind of content, because you're only going to get better. And then, like I said, politics became popular when Obama got in office, and when Trump got in office, it just kind of like, the ratings, in my opinion, went up super high, and people don't like the guy. I'm like, bro, he's helping you pay for your bills. Just like Caitlin Clark, if I'm saying her name right, or Caitlin Clark, if I'm not saying. Caitlin Clark, you have a bunch of haters in the WNBA. This is another story, but you have a bunch of haters in the WNBA that just hate on her, understanding that she's paying your bills. So you should want to glorify her a little bit, but that's another story for another day. But yeah, so my price target on Lockheed Martin is 800, probably 850. Just that duration from 2021 all the way to 2024. I don't see any slowing down unless Trump puts a fork in the road. Just saying. Will it happen? We gotta see. But I do have a lot of confidence that potentially, it may go in his favor, because let's be honest. If I ask one simple question, can somebody tell me any policy? But at the end of the day, I think that I shouldn't have to beg you for a policy, so therefore I don't even want to touch on the subject. I would just, pretty much just talk about what it is. And what it is that I think if we want things to get fixed, I guess the two current, candidates are Trump and Harris. I believe that you have to go with somebody who is giving you something. Think about it like this. If you're getting in a relationship as a man and you want a woman in your life, and you say, hey, well, this is what I'm working on. I'm looking to be successful in my life, or successful in the country. I need somebody who is going to understand where I'm coming from and what I'm trying to do, and this is my plan, and blase, blase, blase. I guess that could be the reverse for you're trying to sell yourself to a woman, right? This man is like, I'm trying to be successful. I got goals. I'm trying to get here. I like your style, boom, boom, boom. This is my plan as a man. Every single day I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna be dedicated to what I gotta do. I wanna marry you, I wanna sweep you off your feet, and have a successful relationship with you. And one will be like, well, I love your game plan. I love your focus as a man. I love that you got ambitions. I'm loving that you got something going for yourself. I'm loving that you have a sense of direction. Yeah, cool. I'm gonna go with you. So that's how it is in this situation. And it's like, I can't marry a person who, or like, you just think of it in the sense of a woman. A woman cannot pick up a man or go with a man, or in this case, her, a woman, if she doesn't have direction. Just, giving a very simple and blunt perspective, because I feel like a lot of people don't really have perspective on this. But yeah, so that's my opinion. And then also too, to end it with this, Warren Buffett. So Warren Buffett, this is crazy. I'll screenshot this one. Warren Buffett currently, right, Berkshire Hathaway sold a significant portion of its Apple shares in quarter two 2024, boosting its cash reserves to a record $277 billion. And it's just sitting in cash. 207. I don't even know what that looks like. You could probably build a house with that. I don't know. I'm just saying. But $277 billion. Some people watching this video probably can't even fathom what that looks like, or even what that is. But not a billion, 277 billion. I think that's, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's Jeff Bezos' net worth. Oh, okay. I'm off by $65 billion ish. His net worth is $205 billion. Bill Gates is $138 billion, which is interesting. Elon Musk, $269 billion. So that's pretty much the equivalent of Elon Musk's net worth. And mind you too, if we throw Tesla in there with the economy, Tesla is gonna go bunkers, going back to 400. So think about that one. But yeah, so you have all this information and you say, well, what do I do with it? Well, when you have one of the richest person in the world, Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors of all time, sitting on a cash pile of $277 billion, it makes you think to yourself, What does he see that I don't see as a little guy, right? And this is what all this information is about, is how to dissect the market, knowing what's coming before it comes, right? So when you're looking at all these billionaires who got a bunch of reserve cash, or all, I would say specifically, we just talked about Warren Buffett, and then you got Mark Cuban in the beginning of the story taking shots at, Trump with that weak ass flow. It's the sport, bro. You should have called Lil Wayne for that, man. I know y'all beefing, but you should have called Lil Wayne, bro. He'd have, you gave him $1 billion. But yeah. So you got all this cash that's sitting on the sideline. You ask yourself, well, what's gonna happen, right? When you, like I said before, when you're looking at Lockheed Martin, the war zone is getting heated. And then they're talking about 2025, and think about that too. 2025 is talking about America is supposed to go to war with China. To foresee that information, to foresee that tension, you ask yourself, what's going to happen in the market? And then you got inflation going up constantly, and then, it's very interesting. And I'll end it with this: is that all you can do. We have a month left of voting, and hopefully this information lasts a very long time. I don't want it to just kind of be done. So I guess I'll have to title this in a way where it's a staple or a stamp in history, I guess you could say. If you guys got any ideas how I can title this to where it is an everlasting video, let me know, and I'll try to title it that way. But yeah, so to end it on this is that I think that all you can do is just kind of be prepared on what the market is doing, dollar costing average. Maybe you probably want to wait until after the election to see who wins, and if you have confidence in whoever that candidate is, kind of go from there. And we'll continue to keep busting down the market and seeing where it goes, and yeah, go from there. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe.